Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 19 of the When in Doubt podcast. We are excited to be back. We are once again in the new version of the setup. By new version, I mean it's literally, hopefully, only going to happen like twice. But it tends to keep happening over and over. And we have the same three people here, yet we're still going to have a party. We got, Noah and...
Sorry, they made me mute myself. I'm Gavin.
Well, Gavin's a little slow today, but he is here. We're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs / play-in tournament, which is about to start. Some exciting takes, kind of similar vibe to what we did last episode with March Madness, except now with NBA. So hopefully you like basketball, because if you do, last two episodes have been a lot of it. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. We are having minor technical difficulties, but we are back.
So minor technical difficulties, minor Gavin difficulties.
Minor Gavin difficulties is the correct word.
Sorry,
It's
Gavin.
not even my fault because they're making me mute myself. Like, I can't even mess up.
It's not that we're making mute yourself. It's because we literally put the phone that we're calling him on directly into the microphone, so we don't want his bag of chips crinkling in the mic, which has happened before. Gavin,
Well,
we're calling
the problem is, we're recording the podcast, and about, I think, 5 minutes ago, I got a call saying, we're recording a podcast and you're going to be on it. So I'm over here munching on my food, chilling away. Now I don't even know what we're talking about.
There's no way.
No, Buddy knows what he's talking about. He's just pretending to mess around now. But
No,
all
I
right.
do. Trust. I'm him.
Noah, you want to start on your side of the NBA playoffs
Yes.
bracket from the top. Tell us what's going on.
Well, the first couple play-in games have happened. All these outer games have happened. So as of right now, we only don't know the 8 seeds. It doesn't matter. Celtics are gonna win.
Yeah,
I think it's not this whole conference isn't even gonna be close. Celtics are in the finals. I would bet hundreds of dollars that the Celtics will be in the finals. I don't think any other team over here is gonna have a chance.
I agree. But
They choke.
I was gonna say, I just feel like whenever there's a top team, like for example this year in the NBA, unlike the other sports, like when we talked about the NFL that last season, we kind of felt like there was no obvious team that was the best team. Like it felt like throughout the entire regular season there was no team that was just obviously the best.
Yeah.
That is just not true with the NBA this year. There is an obvious best team, and that obvious best team is the Celtics. They are the number one overall team, and they are obviously the best, and it's not even close. So I think they are so much of a favorite that's the type of thing where it's like, man, it gets their heads, and that ability to choke becomes more and more of an issue with a team that is that much that is favored by that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do think the Celtics, if they play the way they have all season, they should honestly sweep up to the championship at minimum. But it's just,
it's playoffs.
It's playoffs.
It gets crazy.
It gets crazy. A lot of things can happen. Big, players who are big names, big stars on other teams can have big games, and that can shut down the Lakers. I mean, why did I just say the Lakers? The Celtics. It's obviously any team can lose on any given day. So I do think the Celtics should be able to take either the Bulls or the Hawks, whoever comes through. I would be a little more scared of the Bulls.
Hawks lost, so it's either going to be the Heat or the Bulls, whoever wins.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's a little weird, but that's how it works.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's going to be good games, but I think Celtics are going to win in the end on that side.
Yeah.
Moving down, the Magic.
I honestly don't even know a bunch about these teams. I just know Donovan Mitchell is a unit.
Yeah.
And
True story.
so I feel like couldn't even name a player on the Magic.
Yeah,
Paolo Banchero.
Is that his name? Dude, we're gonna get absolutely flamed for that. It's Pablo Banchero.
His name is Paolo Banchero.
Definitely not how you pronounce it, but that's all right.
I tried.
Yeah, worth a try. I think I got the Cavs in that one for sure. Now this one, Bucks Pacers.
Bucks suck.
Oh man, it pains.
Not even that. Okay, Bucks are all right. I feel like Doc Rivers just sent us down a road we don't want to go on.
It pains me to say
bad.
it, but I literally would not be surprised if we lose in the first round, which is not a good thing to say as a Milwaukee Bucks fan, as someone who is a Wisconsin fan in general, saying oh, my team's the 3 seed and I think they're going to lose in the first round. That's normally something that you don't say.
In our brackets, I picked the Pacers to win. I'm
Yeah.
that unconfident against the Bucks. I mean, hey, prove me wrong. I'll be happy.
Yeah,
if they win, that's great.
If the Bucks prove me wrong, that'd be great.
I seriously do not think they're going to do anything. They've lost 4 out of 5 games against the Pacers this season, with one being the semifinal game in the in-season tournament.
I'm not even kidding. I was going to bring up that exact same stat because I knew that too. Because I specifically remember looking like before the tournament, I was like, man, if there was one team that the Bucks could not have to play in the tournament just to like get to the Celtics. Like, what are those teams we want to try to avoid? And the top one is, like, Indiana Pacers. We cannot figure out how to beat Tyrese Haliburton. Like, we can't figure it out. And, of course, now we play them in the first round. Yeah. So,
no, it's
a really tough matchup for the Bucks.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice little challenge right away.
For sure.
And now at the bottom, you have the Knicks playing the winner of this game, which was the 76ers, by 1 point. That was a fun game.
Yep.
So... Again, I didn't actually watch a whole bunch of NBA this year, but I also know Jalen Brunson is like crazy out of his mind, and I think the Knicks are going to win that one.
Yeah, once again, Jimmy Butler, we've seen what he can do in the playoffs. That's scary, but obviously they were able to shut that down.
And he's out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's kind of crazy because it's like before and prior, Jimmy Butler has been so hot in the playoffs, and now all of a sudden he's just already out. So I feel like
he brought the Heat to the finals last year.
I know. I was gonna say it's like it's sometimes
I'm stealing all your facts. I'm sorry.
It's sometimes those players. No, you're good. It's sometimes those players where it's like you're almost more scared of a certain player on a team to pop off than a team itself.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're the Knicks or whoever you are, and you have a chance to play the Heat. In my opinion, you don't want to play the Heat because you've seen what they've done in prior years as a low seed, and you don't want to have to deal with that. It's kind of the whole same thing, which we'll get to talking about on this side. Nobody wants to play the Lakers. Nobody wants to play the Golden State Warriors because they have LeBron James and Stephen Curry. Nobody wants to play him in the playoffs.
Warriors are out.
Yeah, I know the Warriors are out. I was about to say. But
you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, but it's like those are the type of teams where you just don't want to play in the playoffs. But, sorry, continuing on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole first round. I think other than the Pacers upsetting the Bulls, I think it's just going to be the top seeds. What?
You said the Bulls. Pacers.
I did say Bulls. The Bucks. The Pacers upsetting the Bucks. I think it's just going to be top seeds winning all the way through with the Celtics going to the finals and winning everything. I would imagine.
Okay.
But that side's a little bit more fun.
Yeah, this side is more fun. Gavin, do you got anything exciting to tell us yet?
Well, since I've been in timeout, I haven't gotten much time to talk.
All right, tell us something.
I feel like first round's going to be... We're talking about first round?
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
I feel like it's going to go pretty standard. I think, honestly, we'll have Pelicans and probably Heat winning the play-in. And then I didn't hear if you guys touched on that much. But I think just based on, like, what seems to be obvious, Pelicans and Heat might be coming on the play-in. Obviously, Thunder, Celtics win. Clippers and Mavericks, I think that's going to be a game to watch because you have the 4-5 seed, similar records, and I think we might actually be able to see the Mavericks upset the Clippers in this game.
Yep.
I agree with that statement. Some of your other statements we might have to break bad. We might have to tell you some bad news.
What statements did I miss?
Well, no, do you want to tell him what?
Well, okay, he's technically right, but it's like just the way that he said that the Pelicans and the Heat are going to win. It just sounded funny. Like that's the fact that you started off with.
Yeah.
That the 7 and the 8 seeds are gonna win.
Play-in, then first round.
Well, yeah, but they both lost their first game, but they were both a 7 or an 8. So then they play one more to determine the final 8 seed. It's a little weird.
Yeah, Pelicans lost to the Lakers. That's kind of understandable.
Only
he lost to the 76ers.
Got hurt.
Kind of understandable.
But yeah.
Wait, which of these teams got absolutely smoked though? Wait, let me check back. I remember because I was paying close attention to one of these games.
Huh, I wonder why.
Oh, no, wait, that was... No, Lakers and Pelicans was a close game. And Heat 76ers was a close game. Oh, I'm thinking the Bulls absolutely smoked the Hawks.
They won by like 15.
They had a big lead before the... They had a bigger lead coming into the fourth quarter than they did at the end of the game.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And Kings also smoked the Warriors. So actually, maybe I was wrong about these play-in games. It's going to be close. I feel like Heat's just a better team and better players. I do love the Bulls, and I really hope the Bulls win. But I think Heat just has some really good players, been a strong team. Same thing with the Pelicans. They got Zion Williamson. He has been a unit this year.
Yeah.
He's been putting up crazy numbers, and the Kings just they have some good stuff going for them, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough to put them past into the first round.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those things. Whoa. I agree with a lot of those things that were being said there. I do want to touch on over on this side. I do want to continue to say, Gavin was talking about how the Mavericks-Clippers is going to be a good matchup, and I 100% agree with that statement. Out of any single one in the first round, besides obviously the Bucks for me as a Bucks fan, this is the matchup I want to watch. Actually, these two right here. Yeah. Because the Suns are such a loaded team. They should be so good. I think I saw, don't quote me on this, but I think I saw the Suns have spent, like, their salary cap is the highest right now. Like, they've spent the most money out of any team in the NBA right now. Like, they are dead broke. They should have such a good, like, they should have had such a good season with, KD, Devin Booker. I'm blanking on the third big person on their team.
Cameron Ayton.
Nope. I'm blanking on the third big person.
Like Jusuf Nurkic?
No.
What?
Yusuf Nurkic. And no. Look up. Wait, did Bradley Beal go there? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Bradley Beal? Yeah, Grayson Allen, Bradley Beal.
Yeah, that's who. Yeah, so they have Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Katie. They have so many good players on that team.
It's like the Bucks.
Yeah, except
like the Bucks have had how many Hall of Famers this year?
Yeah.
Not Hall of Famers. Pro Bowl for basketball. All-Star game.
All-Star game. All-NBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I agree with what you're saying about the Suns.
Like Giannis
you got
and Damian...
two guys, Durant and Booker, both putting up over 25 points a game consistently.
Yeah.
Like, those two guys, you put them together, they're absolutely on fire.
Yet they still can't win.
Yeah, it's exactly like the Bucks. You have Giannis and Damian Lillard, like, that's an automatic, like, solid team.
Yeah.
And then the rest of their team is
still good.
It's still really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, they might not have, like, the best players, but they have, like, players where it's like DeAndre Ayton. Right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I know who that is because he's, like, a popular guy and he's a very good player.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like
Chris Middleton, like people like this, like people who maybe like aren't like A-list like NBA players, like on a team where
they're
it's
a
like,
solid B tier.
Yeah, yes, it's like they're a solid like B tier NBA player where it's like, man, if he's on your team, you're happy about it, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
I feel
just
like
it's crazy that the Bucks are just kind of choking, as they are, and then losing that last game to the Magic to lose the number 2 seed. Honestly, though, it might have worked out because then, I don't know, would you rather play 76ers or the Pacers? It's a lose either way.
Yeah, no. It's a lose either way. No, but I think...
Pessimistic Bucks fans.
Yeah, literally. But both of these games I think are going to be super good. I think, Ant's been a demon over here for the Timberwolves. Ant.
Who?
As you can tell, maybe we're not exactly the top of the notch NBA fans here. On either sides of the pillars, really, on either side. But
of the pillars.
But we're doing our best. We're doing our best.
We're more of a football people.
Yeah.
It's not the best thing to say when you're recording a 20 to 30 minute podcast talking about the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, you know what?
Okay, Gavin, go on mute.
No, that is true, but at the same time, you need a little transparency. It's fun to sit around. For me, I feel bad saying this. This is not probably something, once again, Gavin would probably recommend against saying this. But for me, I don't know why, and maybe they can do something to change this. I've just never felt like NBA games count for enough. Like, I feel like NBA teams can go...
What is that supposed to mean?
No, okay, hear me out. Listen, if a NFL team loses a football game, if the Chiefs lose a football game, it's like, oh my gosh, the Chiefs lost a football game. That's a big deal. Yeah. If the Bucks or even the Celtics lose a basketball game, it's like, oh, the Celtics lost. Who really cares? Like, it's not it's not as meaningful because of how many games they play. Because of the sheer amount of games that these teams play during the regular season, it makes the games throughout the entire season feel less meaningful if they win or lose. That's why, for me, coming into like March Madness, it's like, oh, these teams have only played like 30-some games. It's like they have experience, but it's not like you've seen everything. These teams we've literally seen playing so many games, and it's like wins and losses. Obviously, some teams come out on top, like the Celtics with more wins, but they take losses, and it just doesn't feel as meaningful. I think that's, for me, the reason why I've just never quite been the biggest NBA fan. I definitely have...
I really never... Oh, my God. I never watched the NBA until the playoffs.
I will admit, I do want to give props to the NBA because the play-in tournament was a cool idea. And it definitely worked because I watched the play-in tournament, and like I was saying, it was one of those things where it felt like the regular season almost had more of a purpose. I mean, I know it's kind of just like a made-up thing just to get people to watch, like just kind of like a marketing stunt, but it worked. I mean, it made the players on the teams played like it was the playoffs, and that's what made it fun to watch. Like, these teams are playing as if they're playing for a championship, and obviously it's not quite the same, but it's like they were playing like it mattered. I swear there are players on teams, I'll be watching NBA basketball, I'm like, dude, is that guy even trying right now? Like, what is going on? We're like jogging down, barely playing defense, throwing up like 3-pointers from like 10 feet behind the arc every other run. Like, yes, I get these people are elite scorers and they could make those shots, but it just, there's definitely games where I'm like, dude, I feel like this is lazy basketball.
I agree.
Which, then again, it's kind of easy to criticize that sitting in a chair never playing basketball, but I don't know.
Yeah. And then there's some controversy with the I can't talk.
It's all right.
Long day.
It has been a long
There's
day.
There's been some talk about the play-in tournament because that championship game in the play-in tournament didn't count toward a record.
Yeah.
So then now when the Lakers won, that win didn't count toward their record, and they, I believe, lost the 6th seed again. So obviously they're in the playoffs now.
Yeah.
But they lost that guaranteed 6th spot, and maybe even the 5 too, to the one game. Like, they were behind by one game, which they would have made up if that game had counted.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
I also saw, I forgot who it was, but somebody dropped a career high points on a certain team. I saw it on Instagram this morning, but somebody dropped like 40 points, and it was like 3 points more than their career high, and they had like a great night and their team won. And in the record books, it's just nowhere to be found. Like, it still says their career high is what it used to be because they just, like, the games just like vanish off the face of the earth. Like, the playing games just don't even count for anything.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's a little weird.
But yeah.
But sorry, we've been rambling a lot here. But going on back to what I was talking about, I think this matchup here with the Mavs and the Clippers is going to be great. Two very loaded teams, very good teams playing in the first round. If you would have told me this was a semifinals matchup, I would have been like, yeah, sounds good to me, because that's how good this first round matchup is. And
then there was a 3-way tie for the number 1 seed with 1 game left. That
crazy.
That was also crazy.
Nuggets, I think, obviously, no surprise, they're a team to look out for. As the 2 seed, they definitely seem to be the stronger of the 2 seeds, in my opinion. Obviously, defending NBA champions. But Jokic, he's one of those players that I feel like he's sneaky good. Because you watch, like, clips of him. Like, if you go look up Jokic highlights, it's not quite as exciting if you look up Giannis highlights, like, just in my opinion. I mean, Giannis is more of like an electric, physical, like, go up, hit a crazy dunk, like incredible, like, drives, Euro step, put it in, like, super electric gameplay. And Jokic out here, like, jogging down the court, putting up dime passes, like hook shots, and like throwing up random stuff, yet it all just goes in. And yet he controls the court so well. He demands presence on the court. You have to guard him well, because if not, he's going to blow up in your face and play really well. And I'm somehow, haven't noticed, but I've been bleeding from my knuckles this whole time, so that's just great. I guess I'm going to be a vampire and deal with that. But yeah, going on, let's just, now that we've kind of gone through the whole first round, let's just predict what we think are going to be the Final Four and the championship.
Final Four, I feel like, I mean, honestly, I would confidently say Final Four, anyway, Final Four, I could confidently say in the East it could be Celtics and Pacers.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I know Jalen Brunson is on the Knicks, but, like, they don't really have any other, like, A-name, like, A-tier people on their team.
Yep.
And it's like, I feel like they might have
sort
of lucked into that 2nd seed. No, I feel like the Pacers might easily into that.
I feel like the Pacers are more of a complete team, whereas the Knicks, I see Jalen Brunson dropping like 60 points like 3 times this year. So it's like, dude is single-handedly, like, I'm not saying single-handedly, obviously there's other good players on the team, but it's just, that's semi what it feels like.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on what do you say on this side?
Over there, I mean,
this
like
is
that. Now the Thunder too. Like, who's on the Thunder?
Well, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, yeah, but then, like,
Josh Giddey.
Don't say his name.
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
I mean,
do they get the number 1 seed?
They're
really
so,
the number 1?
They're so young. I mean,
yeah.
So here's my opinion on the OKC Thunder. They're an incredible team. They're super young. They are going to be so stinking good for so many years. Do I think they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs this year? No. They're way
going to lose to the Mavericks.
I agree. I think they're going to lose to the Mavericks and the Clippers. I think they're too young, and I don't think they have the experience it takes. Which this could come back to bite me because they are a high skill ceiling team. Like they have a very high chance to just literally win the whole thing. Yeah. But at the same time, they also have a very high chance. I feel like to just lose in the first round or even the first or second round, just because of how young they are as a team. So, yeah. So what were you saying? Your final four over here on this side?
Over there, I'd probably pick the Nuggets and the Mavericks.
Okay.
And then on this side, obviously, I'd pick the Celtics to go into the finals, no question. But over there, that's going to be a fun one. I mean, Luka Doncic is just amazing to watch.
He's having a historic season.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. But I just don't know if he can carry his team past the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cheering for the Mavericks the whole time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be the Nuggets with the Celtics then beating them in the finals.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
All right, Gavin, your turn. Who do you think are your final four and NBA champion?
I do have a couple hot takes here, Hayden.
Okay.
I'd like to address these really quick. Wow, I sounded so professional.
Yeah, you did.
All right. So I think Thunder, they'll win in the first round. But second round, I think they're losing to Mavericks.
Okay.
I think Mavericks are going to be in the Final Four over Thunder just because you have Thunder. They're a good team. They deserve this number one spot. They played a really good year. But you take a look at their lineup. They really only have Shai Gilgeous and Alexander. He's really carrying the whole team this year. And they have some other – you have like Chet Holmgren. He's been doing pretty good this year as well, putting up an average of 8 rebounds per game. But this dude is 7 foot, 200-pound monster. He is a rookie this year, though, which is kind of what's holding him back. So I feel like he has potential to do really good in the future. This year's been really good for him, but he's just not at that point yet where he's able to put enough up to carry his team to the Final Four, and neither does Alexander. He's been putting up 30 points per game, absolute unit. But then again, it's a team effort, not one player.
And it's young. So they're all young.
Yeah. This is probably all their first time being – the Thunder were in it last year, so this is probably all their first time being in a clutch situation like this. So
yeah. So that's why I think Mavericks are going to be in there. I think easy on this one, the Nuggets and the Celtics, those are just two obvious ones. Nuggets are going to destroy the Lakers. Maybe not destroy the Lakers, but they'll beat them pretty well, and then take on probably the Timberwolves and beat them. The Celtics will beat whoever wins the play-in, and then Magic, Cavaliers, they're the Celtics. And then this is another hot take I have. Pacers versus Bucks. I think Pacers are going to come out on top on this one. Mm-hmm. I think Pacers will beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
If you look at throughout the season, the Pacers and Bucks have played each other 5 times. Yep. Bucks only won once, and it was when Giannis put up the franchise record of 64 points in a game.
Yeah,
that's the only time they beat the Pacers. Pacers have been really good against the Bucks, really good team altogether. Because you have some like Tyrese Halliburton. He's been playing really good for them this year, really helping the team a lot. So I think the Pacers are going to beat the Bucks, and then possibly even I believe they would beat the Knicks. So my final four would be Mavericks, Nuggets, Celtics, Pacers. Hot take, but that's what I would go with.
That is a really hot take and an unpopular opinion, Gavin. That's kind of crazy. And exactly what I said. But low-key, no hate. It was just hilarious. And you're like, I have hot takes, and you listed exactly what I just said.
Wait, those are the same picks you had?
Yeah, those are the exact same picks.
The exact same. Every game is the exact same.
Did you go through the entire analysis too?
Yes, he did.
Bro, I was spaced out. I was locked in.
It's fine. It's just hilarious.
All right. Well,
when I go on mute, I also mute my ears.
That's fair.
So when I'm not talking, I'm not. No, I'm kidding. I don't know how I missed that. But Noah, you have some Noah, I respect your picks. Those are pretty good picks.
Let's go, Gavin. We're cheering together. My bracket is your bracket.
All right. Well,
your bracket's my bracket. You can touch my bracket anytime.
Okay, Gavin, we're on the podcast.
That's fair. All right, let's move on. I think here's my picks. So Celtics, I do think on that top half they will make it to the Final Four. I don't think that's a question. I think that is the biggest, just obvious one there. Bottom half down here, this is tough. Now, do I think the Bucks have the ability to pop off and
win? They definitely have the talent to.
They have the talent to. Do I think they're going to? No. So I don't know. It just pains me. It's like I feel like statistically I should, which is funny saying this because they're the 6th seed. I feel like I should pick the Pacers. But you know what? Screw it. I'm picking the Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Bucks because they're my hometown team. The Bucks are going to pull it together, although Doc Rivers hasn't been doing what I've been liking him to do recently. I think the Bucks can win that. Down on the bottom, 76ers are going to be that 7th seed, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is another hot take. I think the 76ers have a real chance to beat the Knicks. I think
Joel Embiid was out for a lot of the season, and they kind of kept the same team from last year. Then again, they've famously been known to.
Yeah,
they've been famously known to be the Packers in the playoffs.
They're extreme chokers in the playoffs. But I think if Joel Embiid can get his head in the game after being injured for a lot of the year, that's going to be a very good matchup. In the end, I want to see, and I'm hoping, and I think it's going to be a Bucks-Celtics in the Final Four.
Wow.
Honestly, in my heart, do I really think that? No. I'm going to have to agree with both the other boys. I think it's going to be the Pacers. But because I need to change it up for the podcast sake and for my hometown sake, Bucks versus Celtics on that side. That's my pick. Moving over here, this is a whole heck of a lot harder. I think the OKC are going to win.
Who do you think is going to win this game?
Oh, I think it's the Celtics. Or what do you mean? Which game?
The Cavaliers Magic.
I think the Cavs are going to win that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then over here, I think, man, this is just tough. This is going to be a really good game. Clippers, Mavericks. I'm going to come back to that. I got to think about that for a second. Here, I think the Suns, once again, just kind of similar like I was saying about the Bucks, have that opportunity to blow up, but I don't think they will. I think Anthony Edwards is going to...
Oh, Ant.
Yeah, Ant. Yeah.
You said Ant, and I know there's the one guy on the team.
And his
name is Ant?
I think he's going to have a great playoffs run here. I think they're going to take down the Suns there. I think the Nuggets, one of their hardest matchups is actually going to be the Lakers. I saw a stat the other day about how freaking good LeBron is in the playoffs, and
it's ridiculous.
He's really good.
It's like Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah, and if I'm the Nuggets, that is one of those teams that I do not want to be playing in the playoffs. Although I think they're going to get it done, I think it's going 6 or 7 minimum. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not going to be like an easy series for the Nuggets.
I disagree. I completely agree with you. I don't think it's going to be an easy series at all. Here's my hot take. I got the Minnesota Timberwolves taking down the Nuggets to get to the Final Four. I got Minnesota Timberwolves over here. OKC's too young. I think they're losing to the Mavericks. All right. It hurts to say.
He did it. Okay, good job.
I don't know. Honestly, I think it could go either way, but I think whoever wins this matchup in the first round is honestly making it to the Final Four. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
So I got the Mavericks. I got the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Celtics, and the Bucks. As much as I would love to say the Bucks are gonna, Bucks and 6.
Bucks and 6.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are gonna take down the Bucks or whoever really gets.
After this, we should look at the 2021 bracket. Let's see who won. Won that one.
Let's do that. Let's not look at any of the other years though.
No. Well, we can look at the 150 years before that.
Yeah. True. So, I think the Celtics are gonna win that, be in the championship, and I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win on this side.
Wow.
So I got Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Celtics, and I think the Celtics win that in 6. Celtics winning it all. I know it's not much of a hot take having the Celtics win it all, but I had a few hot picks on the way there. I think this is honestly, especially on this side, is going to be a really good playoffs. I think the West definitely is going to be really fun to watch. East not quite as much, but I mean it's just a lot of good basketball. And playoff, unlike what I was talking about in the regular season, I feel like the players actually care and want to be there. So that's always nice to watch.
Yeah.
Hayden, with your Final Four choices, what was the decisioning behind the Timberwolves?
Because the Timberwolves are really good.
That's it. Just leave it at that.
No, so I'm gonna be honest. Anthony Edwards he's kind of a dog. I don't know if you knew that. He's just been a dog all season. And plus, they got Rudy Gobert, and he's
almost all people are saying he's going to be the unanimous defensive
player of the year. I think they have the makings to go deep in the playoffs because they have really good defense, obviously with Rudy Gobert on the team. So I mean, they have the depth, and I think they have the star player and they have the depth, which is what you need, and they have good defense, which is what you need to make a playoff run. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to be able to put that together. I think Nuggets are going to be a tough test, but if they can figure out how to stop Nikola Jokic, I think they can get it done. So that's why I picked them there.
Gavin, you have any fun facts for us before we end our one episode away from 20?
Yeah, that's
what?
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Wait, this is the 19th episode?
Yes.
If only we said it during
I missed that in the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Can you believe it?
That is kind of crazy. It feels like we started a while ago, but also it feels like not that long ago.
Yeah. It feels like yesterday we were all sitting down here playing Monopoly, and Noah's like, dude, we should start a podcast. Now all the comments are like, dude, just start a podcast.
And we all laughed at him.
Yeah, we all did laugh.
Little did we know.
Yeah, little did we know. Now we just
5,000 followers later on all of our platforms,
and
still growing.
Yeah, and also now instead of us laughing at Noah, we just get laughed at. So
yeah,
it's great.
It's kind of
I
funny.
only get 1/6 of the hate.
Yeah, it's great. All right. Well, that was our playoff episode for the NBA. Can you tell that we don't know as much about the NBA as we do about March Madness and literally every other sport?
Can't tell at all.
No, you can't tell at all. Wink, wink. But I hope you guys having a good day and enjoyed the episode. We will be back next week, hopefully with more people on the podcast and back to the normal couch setup. Gavin, say goodbye.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
All right, see y'all. Peace out.